What's going on, everyone? I've got a very exciting video for you all today. We are janking it out with some Wedge Blue. This is a requirement from one of my patrons. For those of you not a part of the Patreon, the Discord that I have, we run some tournaments, and as you participate and potentially win those tournaments, I give you all points, which you can redeem for various fun things. Today, one of my patrons in Quackbox here in the top left decided to make me play one of his pet decks, which was Wedge Virgin's Temple. There's a lot of cool things going on here. We're going to try to bust out some wins. I have made some modifications that I view as a little bit potentially stronger, but we're going to see what we can do. A big thank you to my patrons, guys. It is a lot of fun, and I do not mind doing this for you every once in a while, but please don't give me the mega jank all the time, okay? That said, let's talk about Wedge Blue. What are we doing today? Well, obviously we're playing some Wedge, which means we got to play some pilots. Otherwise, Wedge literally does nothing, and you'd be pretty sad to be playing him. So we've got some pretty cool ones like Nien. Hera is actually pretty good. Paige is actually pretty good. The ability to, deal damage and give experience tokens can stack up pretty nicely. Cassian can draw us extra cards. We got Chewbacca, an old classic. Some pretty nice pilots that you're used to. But here's the crazy part. We're also running Virgin's Temple, so we've got Force synergies in the deck. Now, these are the two things I did not change. I'm running Virgin's Temple, I'm running Wedge. That is the core of the deck. Some of the different cards in here I have swapped around. What are we actually getting value from when we're playing Virgin's Temple? Well, first off, Jedi Consular on turn 1 with Virgin's Temple is just good in basically any deck. If you're able to play Jedi Consular next turn, you can play a 5-drop. That works really nicely for us, mainly because we can actually do like blue leader ambushing things, or play like a Millennium Falcon and play multiple pilots on it, or play multiple space units in the next turn, or a space unit plus removal. Lots of different options with that. We also have Shatterpoint, absolutely amazing, probably one of the best removal events in the entire game. All of our 4 toughness units, all the Millennium Falcons, and any space unit that we were to pilot up, let's say A-Wing plus Hera on turn 1, or you can't do that on turn 1, but like A-Wing plus Nien on turn 1, boom, suddenly we got the Force, and we can play Shatterpoint to generate that Force and knock out anything for 4 resources. We've got Iterant Warrior, really nice ground unit when you're not playing a ton of ground units, because it's a 4/4 shielded, so it's kind of obnoxious to deal with, but then it's going to heal us a little bit, so it's going to keep us in the game. We've got Chirrut. Now, this is one modification that I made. I view Chirrut as an extremely powerful option. One of the things that they were running was Perimeter ATRT, which can be piloted onto, which is awesome, but we have all the space units to pilot onto, so I figured we'd take a little bit more advantage of the Force and run Chirrut. We've got Yodas in the late game because it's a little bit more of a value list, and Yodas are going to be able to use the Force to do some big work, and we're going to see what we can do with Wedge Blue here. Honestly, there aren't a crazy amount of uses of the Force, but in some cases, Shatterpoint and Jedi Consular are enough in most cases, so we're going to see if that is true, and, well, hopefully between Shatterpoint, you're all cleared, and Air Superiority, we have a great suite of removal, plus the healing and supposedly some pilot value. We're gonna get there. Let's dive into it. All right, everyone, game number 1. I had a lot of fun testing for this deck, messing around with some of the options we had, so I'm excited to get into a game here. This looks like a pretty good hand, to be honest. I do like the blue leader with Jedi Consular. I do like Shatterpoint typically, but I don't think Yoda's gonna be one where I'm really interested in Shatterpoint. I think what I'd rather do is resource these two, because like right now I can go blue Jedi Consular into blue leader, ambush turn 2 into Nien pilot on the blue leader plus Chirrut. That's kind of my game plan. And I can even put Nien pilot on the blue leader on the next turn. So we'll see if my opponent has any interaction for that. It doesn't look like they necessarily do. You're all clear, Glid, I think is going to be pretty weak up against the Yoda player here. So we'll see what my opponent's got. We are just going to play the blue leader and ambush the Secretive Sage, just kind of as a reasonable play here. I don't even know if I want to Nien Nub here. Okay, I mean, Force Throw is pretty excellent for my opponent. Being able to deal 1 to the blue leader is going to be pretty good, and then they're just going to trade. So we ended up going 2 for 2 on this blue leader with that Force Throw. Yep. Jedi Consular living, though, with the Virgin's Temple on the board is pretty nice, so that's nice. Ooh, we have another Secretive Sage. It's kind of an ideal situation for my opponent. I like the Cassian. generally. So I'm just going to drop in the Chirrut as a unit here so I can shrink down the potential Secretive Sage. Ki-Adi-Mundi drawing a couple cards. That's very, very scary. Wow, they got the Ray reveal too. Whoa, how lucky is that? That was incredibly unlucky for us. And now I'm a little bit worried here about what this game is turning out to be. Let's see what we've got. Shatterpoint. I mean, Shatterpoint's not bad. And Blue Leader plus Cassian. Cassian can be piloted onto Blue Leader. No vehicles. Okay. We're going to use the Force here to make it so that Ki-Adi-Mundi does not kill my Chirrut. And now what we could do is go Blue Leader, pay to ambush, trigger, hit the Secretive Sage. We can then also pay for Jedi Consular to or just kill off Ki-Adi-Mundi with Jedi Consular. Okay, they're gonna... What do I want to do here? I don't think I want to pilot onto Blue Leader. I think I'm just going to attack into the Ki-Adi-Mundi. Another secret. That is a trio of Secretive Sages. It's crazy, by the way. Very, very interesting in how this game is turning out. I am very tempted to pilot onto Blue Leader at this point. I want to be able to generate the Force again. And Rival's Fall could be coming, though. I think I will deploy Wedge as a unit here. Another Chirrut, Nian. I mean, Nian pretty bad here because I already want to put Cassian onto my Blue Leader. And I have the Force, which means I can shrink down the Secretive Sage so it can't kill the Chirrut. I think that's going to be pretty important. The triple Secretive Sage. The shields have been so good up against what we're doing. Rivals Fall. They did have the Rivals Fall. Very happy I went with my direction. That said, I am not happy with how the game has turned out here because now we don't really have plays besides just playing out the Cassian as a unit, which kind of sucks if we're playing Cassian as a unit. And we can also just play Chirrut out, but that kind of sucks too. So Rivals Fall on the Blue Leader. Happy I deployed Wedge as a unit, but that means that our game plan, yet again, no space units. Like, we have drawn any space units besides the Blue Leader. My opponent, they're going to claim initiative. We're going to pass. We got nothing. Another hand, no space units. We got a bunch of space units in this deck. How many space units do we have? Luke is pretty obnoxious, and mind you, they have the Yoda deploy here, which means that they're probably just going to be able to win. It really stinks, guys. If we just had some space units, we would be totally fine because we could put this Chewbacca on and we would be totally fine right now. We have 16 space units in the deck. Yeah, that's pretty tough. Attack it for 3. I mean, we're going to be able to Shatterpoint Luke, but I think my opponent's got this game. The Secretive Sages have been super important for dealing with our Blue Leader deploys, because if there was a regular Force unit like Yaddle or Adi Gallia, they wouldn't have been able to Force throw us. Okay, they're going to attack into my unit here, my Wedge, with their units. We've got a Luke here, which is pretty okay. I guess we'll just deploy Luke and knock out the Secretive Sage. Again, this could be bad because they could deploy their Luke and then knock out our Luke, and then we are on the back foot. But there's not really many options that we have. Like, either I do that or I... Okay, they have Force Throw plus Tantive 4. Like, incredible situation for them. They've just had really high value plays throughout the game. We don't need to resource anything. I mean, we're going to drop in a Bright Hope plus Phoenix Squadron A-Wing. But this is the problem with no pilots, is we didn't get to use Wedge's ability at all this game. Like, we had the Nian, which could have gone on the units, but it doesn't matter because my opponent had Rivals Fall, so we that wouldn't have done anything. Anakin Skywalker knock out the A-Wing. Yeah, this game is completely over at this point. My opponent had a pretty good hand, right, to deal with what we had going on. As I said, with the Secretive Sages, that's really what put the nail in the coffin for us. But even so, Yep, that's going to be GG. We cannot do anything about that. Good game to our opponent on game number 1 here. All right, into the next game. We're going to go mulligan this one. I'm not really happy about just a Hera on turn 1. This is the all space hand now. We've transitioned. Let's go ahead and resource these two. Probably go with the A-Wing. No, I'm going to go with Restored Arc here. I'm hoping for a pilot was what I was hoping for on turn 1, but we're not going to get that. Into the Yoda plus Phantom 2 draw. Okay, again, no pilots here. Really hoping for a pilot. We have quite a few pilots in the deck as well. Yeah, Phantom 2. It's an okay pickup. They've got the power of the dark side, sure. I mean, my opponent, they're playing the game. We got the action though from Darth Maul, going to give us an extra power on our Phantom 2, which seems pretty good. I don't think they should, because then they're not going to be able to generate the Force again. Yeah, okay, we're gonna be able to draw some cards here. Okay, we picked up a couple pilots here. I mean, those look pretty decent. I mean, Paige on Phantom 2 looks amazing. So what I'm gonna do is attack in for 3 and then play out the Bright Hope, and then hopefully double pilot next turn. I know I could pilot this turn, but my opponent's playing Vigilance. Like, they could just have a power of the dark side, and it kind of just really sucks for us, right? So obviously we don't want to be doing that. Okay, they're going to deal 1 to Bright Hope. Luke, Hera. I mean, Hera is another pilot. I'm going to resource Hera because I'm looking to draw some cards here, really. I will Cassian over onto Bright Hope. My opponent could have Shatterpoint to deal with Bright Hope. It's one of the problems with a lot of these pilots, if I don't have Chewbacca, is my opponent's playing Vigilance Villainy. So they got a lot of options to kind of knock out my units. We did draw pretty good there. Blue Leader is quite excellent. I can put Blue Leader down and kill HK-47. So that looks pretty nice. And then I would be able to deploy Wedge, attack in for 3, and then play Paige on my Phantom 2. So actually a pretty nice situation for us. Well, actually, I can't actually do that because my opponent, or we don't have 5 resources for the Blue Leader. Devastating Gunship coming in. Okay, Devastating Gunship was pretty threatening here. I'm going to knock out Ogdo Bogdo. I don't want to be taking too much damage here. It's a little bit too brutal. We can go Blue Leader plus Paige Tico on our Blue Leader. I'm not really sure how we're getting out of this. I could have gone Paige Tico on that exact turn on the Phantom 2, but I think that's super risky. I mean, I guess if I'm doing it in the first place, I should have just done it. We're going to be able to Paige Tico, right? I literally attacked with Wedge. I should be able to play Paige, right? Wedge's flip side ability is... No, never mind. It's only with the attached ability. Oh, yep. It's only when he's attached as a pilot. Yep. Yoda, Luke, Blue Leader. I mean, I think Yoda's the resource here. It's going to be a little bit too expensive probably for this game. Luke Skywalker could be pretty good. We could go Blue Leader plus Paige on this turn. There's attack. We draw Nien. Okay. I mean, Blue Leader, we already have one out on the board, so we're going to have to do something pretty relatively smart with this one. I mean, we'll kill off Devastating Gunship here for sure. Let's see. What are they going to do with Maul deploy here? Okay, we will go Blue Leader, kill HK. Darth Maul's lightsaber. Oof. Okay, I mean, we're going to claim initiative. If they have another unit here, it's real bad for us. Karis isn't lethal, I suppose, so that's something good for us. Oh, guys, this game is too hard. This game is way too hard. We played Luke, -3, What can we do here? I don't know. Vigilance villainy, guys. The power of the dark sides. Dooku, deal with that. I mean, you can. We're dead. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. And when we attack, we restore 3, but there's nothing that we can get rid of this Dooku with, so it is GG. GG. Alrighty, into the next matchup. We got ourselves Quinlan Tarkentown. This is risky because we can't go with the Jedi Consular play that we normally would enjoy doing. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. Don't like it at all. This is a lot better. This is a lot better of a hand. We have a lot of different options. My opponent has initiative. They're gonna pass, which means I'm gonna claim initiative. I actually would prefer to get into a longer game with my opponent. It may seem like I'm playing Wedge and playing this like value centric, or aggressively focused deck, but I'm actually more of a value deck than anything. Let's go ahead and resource the restored arc. I mean, we're just going to keep passing back and forth. If we're going to get to the late game here, I am actually totally okay with that. They have Quinlan as a deploy here, and that means that we will just go ahead and what do I want to do? Do I want to go Jedi Consular? I suppose I could go Millennium Falcon plus Hera here. Not bad, not bad. Another Hera, a Paige Tico. Paige Tico looks pretty good. So Millennium Falcon means that my opponent probably won't be able to deal with that. And there is the Quinlan. So I think here we'll deploy Chirrut. And then we could put Wedge onto the Millennium Falcon or just put him as a unit. But Chirrut's going to prevent the ground attacks here for a good amount of time, which is going to be nice. We're going to be able to use Paige Tico as a pilot, pump up the Millennium Falcon even further. We can go ahead and use Chirrut to avoid the attack here. We attack in for 10, which is absolutely massive, by the way. We deploy Wedge as a unit, and then we just attack into their base for 3. We pass. You're all clear, kid. Couple of units. Jedi Consular looks pretty bad. I wonder what my opponent could have to deal with this Millennium Falcon. Waylays, I suppose. They have waylay. I mean, come on now. Force throw. Yeah, force throw will do it. Force throw Han will do it. That will get rid of that. We'll deal with Quinlan here, and then we'll just start, I guess, leveling up a new unit here. That was kind of our game plan, really. Force throw definitely was the answer here. I'm surprised my opponent's attacking units. I would have expected them to be attacking base at that point, but we'll see. More pilots would be really good here. Red 5, huh? I mean, I kind of have to take initiative, right? Because they attack and then kill off my Phantom 2, which really sucks. Adi Gallia as well. Pretty nice curve from our opponent. We have air superiority, but that's not really going to do a whole lot. I mean, Phantom 2 trades with Red 5. Yeah, I mean, there isn't a whole lot that we can do. We're kind of on the we must kind of trade with units plan, which really sucks, actually. I'm going to go blue leader, give 2 experience, tick trigger, go and hit Quinlan here. Air superiority can definitely do some work with the A-wing. Remember, ooh, they have force throw. Another force throw, double force throw. Yeah, yep. Oh, they have a third force throw. Oh my gosh, guys. And they have an L3 to deploy. It's so insane. It's so insane. We can't win. We have 2 pilots. Guys, we can't win. Alrighty, into the next game. We got ourselves a pretty reasonable hand here, up against Avar, which is going to be a little bit more, I would imagine, value oriented, but we'll see, I suppose. With the Force, they got resupply. I mean, this is a nice start. This is a nice start for us. We're gonna have a couple pilots. I mean, Jedi Consular now is pretty bad, but you know what? That's okay. Poe Dameron. Oh my gosh, what is with the Poe Damerons lately? Let's go ahead and just drop in the Cassian with piloting onto the Millennium Falcon. Let's go ahead and attack it with the Millennium Falcon. Actually, I think let's attack it with Millennium Falcon. It's a Page Tico. Okay, not bad. Attack it for 3. We'll play Jedi Consular and then pass. Another Cassian looks decent. We don't need double cheer it. My opponent can attack with Poe Dameron, kill Jedi Consular, kill my upgrade on Millennium Falcon, and kill A-Wing in one swing. It's so gross, man. The Poe Dameron, I mean, oof. Wait, they didn't kill off my A-Wing? I'm very surprised at that one. All right. We will play the Cassian as a pilot over onto the A-Wing. Another pilot coming in. They're going to use the Force. Oh, they have a Mace Windu. Yep, let's go ahead and put this down. So Mace. Oh, they have Bright Hope. Even worse. Even worse, man. Even worse. That is tough. That is tough. Yoda's lightsaber. Man, I don't even know what to expect anymore. Let's drop in a Chirrut. Pass. We've got Blue Leader. I mean, Iterant Warrior looks pretty weak here. They can kill off Wedge if they wanted to. I'm so surprised they didn't discard another card to deal with the A-Wing. That would have been kind of a free play there. Poe Dameron is just massive. If we happen to have a Shatter Point or something, that would have been great, but we didn't. Play Page Tico as pilot over on the Millennium Falcon. Kelleran back. I mean, that looks great. Attack. We drew a Yoda. I mean, Yoda looks decent in this game. We'll attack. We'll play a Blue Leader. Pass. Another Blue Leader. I mean, realistically, at this point of the game, we're not going to be getting to Yoda. Otherwise, I mean, if my opponent just killed off the A-Wing with that Poe Dameron attack earlier on, we would have lost, but I guess we take the win, even with the Poe Dameron on the board attacking like 3 times in a row. Alrighty, into the next game. And honestly, it looks like an absolutely amazing hand. I'm going to go with my opponent's playing Han Blue, which usually involves like Grogu's and things like that. So I don't know if I want to go with the A-Wing on turn 1 because of the Grogu. I'm going to... Yeah. I'm going to resource the A-Wing, and I'm going to resource probably the Chewbacca because the Cassian probably won't draw me a bunch of cards, I suppose. Whatever. We will pilot the Nian onto the Arc 170. Get our value here in turn 1. My opponent, going to take initiative. We're going to pass. We got a Jedi Consular. We got a Chirrut. I'm going to resource the Chirrut here. The Jedi Consular could allow us to get down like Yoda super early, which would be pretty cool. Attack it for 2, generate the Force, get the Restore 1. Opponent just waiting to select the actions here. We will attack Restore 1 ourselves, which looks pretty good. Get the Millennium Falcon down, and there is the Ogdo Bogdo, which we were a little bit afraid of. They have Force Throw as well. Kind of an incredible hand for my opponent to start themselves out. Really, really solid from them. Another Jedi Consular. Air Superiority looks pretty excellent here, actually. Looks quite excellent. Do I want to deal with the Ogdo Bogdo or the Force Throw? I think if my opponent has Force Throw and Force Throws after I play Air Superiority, I'm less happy than if I were to just deploy Cassian on the Millennium Falcon. So let's do that. Let's do that first. Now my opponent has to choose if they do have a Force Throw. I don't know. Okay, they're going to Iterant Warrior. Going to heal a little bit. We're going to Air Superiority down the Ogdo Bogdo. Just take care of it. Then attack in for 1. Or 2, rather. I did this because we also preserve the 1 damage that we could have gotten with the restore 1 from Yaddle, rather. Opponent just waiting to select their triggers here. There you go. We attack. Hopefully we hit a card. Ooh, we do. An Entrenched, huh? Okay. Attack in for 4. Pass. Bright Hope Blue Leader. Okay, Blue Leader looks pretty decent here. Yeah, I like Blue Leader. Okay, they have the Fell the Dragon. Sure. Let's go with Blue Leader. Trigger the ambush, kill Yaddle. They could trade with Iterant Warrior, which kind of sucks. With just the shield token, too. But there's not much that we could do. My opponent had the removal for Millennium Falcon. Let's see it, opponent. Let's see it. Yep. Who knew you were going to do that? I did not, certainly. Waiting on some more space units. That Cassian did draw us a couple extra cards. My opponent got so much value, though. We're going to deploy Wedge and just attack in for 3. I know I could sit back and relax and not deploy Wedge and wait for a space unit to pilot him onto, but I think that's just kind of asking to lose, because I think we are very much the aggressors here. And if my opponent happened to have Luke next turn, it's kind of really bad for us because they're going to shrink down Arc. And I mean, this also gives me an extra damage because of the Nien on my Arc 170, so that's pretty nice. So yeah, I think this is definitely worth it here. Not a bad draw. I'm going to immediately attack in for 3, just in case they're able to deal with my Wedge. 6 resources can be a lot of different things for Han. A lot of different things for Han. They're going to use Han, deploy Han. I mean, I think if they had a way to deal with Arc 170, they would have done so already. So I'm going to try to go for that 1 extra damage with the Hera deploy onto the A-Wing. Do they have Fell the Dragon is the question. So if I deploy onto this and they Fell the Dragon, I'm going to be pretty sad. I think I'm going to play around Fell the Dragon. My opponent's playing this very weirdly. They have Luke. Okay, so they didn't have what I thought they were going to have, but that's okay. Shatterpoint looks pretty good here. I'm just going to Shatterpoint away Luke so they don't heal the 3. Like I said, they could have Luke on this turn, and they absolutely did. I would be so scared to do what they just did and play it out as they did. But, man, if we went with Hera, it would have been fantastic on that turn because they wouldn't have been able to deal with it. But now we get to go ahead and defeat Luke, which means they can't restore 2 or restore 3. If they have another Luke, it really is bad for us. But the fact that they have Luke on board already, wow, guys, oh my gosh, it's so sad. Well, now they just have to take initiative. Double up on Luke's, man. Ugh. They have to claim initiative. We're playing our A-Wing. We got Chewbacca. We got Cassian. A bunch of pilots. They attack our Wedge, and then I suppose we put Chewbacca on our A-Wing and then hope that they don't have something to heal them, like Iterant Warrior or something. Here comes Chewbacca with pilot. Is that enough? Is that enough is the question. Do you have some healing? Can we beat the best deck in the format, or one of them? Force Throw. Oh my gosh, it's so brutal. Yeah. They have it all. What's with these games? This double Force Throw with 19 cards. They have the double Luke in 19 cards. It's so incredibly disgusting. What a perfect curve out from them. And now we just lose. There's nothing we can do. I mean, we're going to go Wedge and deploy our pilots, and we're going to try our best. But I mean, they attack with Yaddle here, and they restore 1 million. I mean, they literally just win. Yeah, there's no answer. We could act as we're for bluffing, but yeah, we don't have anything. Alrighty, into the next game here. Let's see what we've got up against Double Blue Kanan. I mean, this is an okay hand. I feel like we need to do more. I'm gonna mulligan this one. into a kind of a weak hand too. Page Tico, not going to be all that amazing on turn 1, but at least it is a turn 1 option. Yeah, up against Double Blue Kanan. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to claim initiative. I don't even want to deploy Paige into the Yaddle. Don't even want to deploy Paige into the Yaddle. Blue leader, I'm going to resource here. I'm going to go full throttle. Just hope they don't have any answer to the Millennium Falcon. And we're going to claim initiative. They've got Lothwolf. Oh, they didn't put a shield token on it. That's kind of a mistake from them. We're going to just keep pumping up our Millennium Falcon. I mean, there's not really an answer to if they have like Fell the Dragon. Like, we just need to do this. This is what our deck does. If we waited to Chewbacca, maybe we could do something more. But, oh yeah, Doom's going to be quite nice for them. But what can you do? Earn an attack with Millennium Falcon. Hopefully to draw a card. Nope, it's a Graceful Purgle. They're going to attack it for 2, restore 1. We're going to go blue leader. And I mean, Doom's going to get crazy strong. Fortunately for us, one of their units can't attack, which means Doom isn't that crazy yet. Ooh, Jedi Consular not looking that great. And Yoda also looking a little misplaced here. Man, sometimes, guys, the things that we draw, I'm like, oh, wow, that's... That's what we're playing today, huh? All right. Shielding up the Doom. Let's deploy Wedge as a pilot on the Millennium Falcon. I mean, we're going to go to town. We're going to go to town here. Going to attack in with Millennium Falcon. Discard a card. What do we hit? Another Purgle. Of course we did, of course. Play this with piloting over there. And then we're going to attack. We're going to attack ourselves. We're going to play a Chirrut pass. What did we happen to draw? You're all clear, kid. Yes, that's what we wanted to pick up. I mean, technically we have lethal on board, but my opponent probably has an answer for that. Chirrut is pretty good on this board, though. It's pretty good on this board. It's going to be able to provide a sentinel body for us to avoid a lot of damage here. Hopefully they don't have a Rival's Fall. Jedi lightsaber. Well, I mean, my opponent has to have like something pretty incredible, something that doesn't exist in the game to win. Okay, we got one. We got a win here, guys. We did it. We're gonna show our dominance, make sure they take their 1 damage. Boom, baby. Millennium Falcon giving us a win. Let's go. Alrighty, into our final game of today. Hopefully finding a Chewbacca. I'm going to mulligan this one. Shatterpoint and Air Superiority are really not going to be all that fantastic up against the Kylo Green. And so although we have like a... Man, I'm going to resource both Air Superiorities. I do not want them in this matchup. Generally, Kylo Green is going to be a little bit more controlling. And so having those types of cards in our... Wow, they have the... Inferno 4 on turn 1, huh? All right, let's claim initiative. Hopefully pick up like a Chewbacca is what I want. Heirloom lightsabers means they got Anakin in their deck. Ugh. I mean, we'll attack for 3. They could trade. It's fine. They probably have Power of the Dark Side or whatever to kill off our unit as well. We're going to go Millennium Falcon. Here comes the Power of the Dark Side. Ooh, we got Super Laser. Okay. Not as afraid of Super Laser. See if they have the Kylo Ren ability activation. If they have an upgrade, they probably use it. If they don't, they probably don't. Okay, let's go Jedi Consular into the resource pile. I'm a little bit worried about a Power of the Dark Side. But I'm also worried now that they're 4 resources, they got takedowns and Fell the Dragons. So I'm just going to immediately attack it with Millennium Falcon. And then if they do have something, then I'm just going to go 2-drop, 2-drop. And then leave it at that, you know. At least I got in my 3 damage. Discard a card, Craving Power. All right, we're going to go Stored Arc. It's less valuable in the A-Wing because of the extra power on the A-Wing. So we're just going to deploy a bunch of units and we'll see. They claimed initiative. Wow, no plays here. I mean, You're All Clear Kid can, I guess, do something, but I'm just going to resource it because it's less likely that that does something over like just playing out a Millennium Falcon. They probably have no glory here. Probably have no glory here, at least. If they don't, I mean, Merciless Contest is really not that bad. Merciless Contest is really not that bad. Let's go with a play Wedge as a pilot onto the Millennium Falcon here. Inferno 4 coming in. Okay, let's go with attack for 7 into base. They can deploy Kylo and play a Craving Power and knock out... They can't even knock out, at least in the current moment, my Millennium Falcon. We're going to go Wedge. We're going to pilot the A-Wing attacking for 5, pass. Couple of pretty bad pickups here, huh? Jedi Cons are super bad here. Craving Power doesn't kill off Millennium Falcon. Remember that. I mean, our hand looks pretty good. Our hand looks pretty good up against Kylo Ren. I didn't want to deploy Wedge as a unit, period, just because if, let's say, my opponent deploys Kylo Ren and Craving Powers, then they basically brick my unit in space and my my Wedge ground unit. We got another Hera here. I think the answer is to play Hera with piloting on the Millennium Falcon just so I can get +1 power. Because now we are very close to lethal. Yep, they obviously attack. We attack with Millennium Falcon. They are forced to take initiative. Great. We will attack into their base for 3. We'll pass. Couple of draws here. I will resource one of them because that allows us to play 2 plays this turn should they have like a super laser blast. They have overwhelming barrage. Well, that doesn't win the game. That allows us to win the game, in fact. So we got there, guys, up against Kylo Green. Let's go. Let's go. GG with our piloted up Millennium Falcon. Let's go. All right, everyone. What did we learn today? Wedge Blue was pretty inconsistent, I will say, at best. I think the idea is fun from Quackbox over here. The idea of comboing a couple different strategies together with like the pilots and getting the resource cost reduction with them. Obviously Wedge does that extremely well. Then you have the Virgin's Temple with the minor force synergies, Jedi Consular on turn 1 obviously being one of the stronger ones alongside just playing Shatterpoint in general. We could have gone with Perimeter ATRT instead of Chirrut. I think in some games it would have been better with the pilots, and then in other games it would have been worse. So I think you can go either direction. One of the really, really big things with the Wedge deck is even no matter how you really formulate this deck, you are kind of splitting your strategies. And while that can be interesting, usually a split strategy like this where you have multiple different paths tends to make your deck a little bit weaker. And we did see that in some cases where we had the force and we were sitting there, but then we couldn't actually use the force with anything that we had, or we had space units but we didn't have pilots, or we had pilots but we had a bunch of the force cards in our hand like Jedi Consular or Warrior, or things like that. So kind of interesting. Fun deck. 25 HP does hurt a little bit when you are trying to go a little bit more value oriented, but regardless, thank you Quackbox for making me dive into a Wedge Blue list. We were forced to play it today, but it was a lot of fun. So thank you. And again, if you guys want to check out those options down below, my Patreon is down below if you want to do the same thing for me or to me, and I'll see you all for the next one.